formerly Trump's social media platform Truth Social, surged nearly 30% pre-market in the first day of trading on the NASDAQ. Shares of Trump Media and Technology Group, Truth Social's parent company, were trading around $65 before the market opened today. Now, the company's market capitalization is approximately $2.7 billion. Trump himself owns 58% of the shares in the company, placing his stake at more than $5 billion based on early trading on Tuesday.
All right, that's some good news for Donald Trump. Now, I know there's some, speculation and skepticism about whether or not that valuation is really accurate and whether it translates into real money for Donald Trump. But certainly having the bond diminished so significantly should be a bit of a load off. And additionally, remember, he had until the 25th to pay that bond initially. Now getting another 10 days to come up with the money is good news all around for the Don.
Yeah, I tend to think all social media companies have inflated values. So while I don't know that Truth Social is worth $5 billion, I don't know that Twitter is worth, so Elon paid $44 billion for it. I don't know that it was worth that. They say it's only worth $12.5 billion now. Maybe that's accurate. I don't know how many, is it $100 billion for Zuckerberg's site? None of, these things are all ephemeral, and something new comes along, and I'm just skeptical of it.
I would say that the Facebook has distinguished itself in terms of being a real avenue for ad sales.
Yeah.
Twitter was never that kind of an app, and even under the previous ownership struggled to figure out how it was going to monetize itself. Its value has always seemed more, frankly, cultural in nature than pushing ads to people the way that some of these other apps are designed to do. So that's part of why Elon Musk has tried to pivot to the subscription-based model with some mixed successes. But this for Donald Trump, I think, is a significant win. We were talking yesterday about whether or not he was going to potentially have to declare bankruptcy, tarnishing this image in some ways of this incredibly powerful and successful real estate mogul in his hometown of New York City.
Or showing how the deep state forced a successful businessman to sell off his assets, to break him, bend him, force him to take a knee, so brutalized by Joe Biden and his.
I love watching these two go at it. They are pretty good. I enjoy some of their little on-screen antics together. By the way, that's Rising. The channel is called Rising, so be sure to go over there and give them a thank you for sharing that with us today, folks. JR Dukes at your service. Appreciate you being with me today. $5 billion. Yes, $5 billion. Former President Donald Trump made $5 billion today. Now, admittedly, it's on paper, but it's still $5 billion with his Truth Social going public. Fantastic. Wow. Good for him. I am happy for our former president. It is really ironic and funny how Donald Trump always seems to have good luck on his side. Anyone who comes up against him seems to fall by the wayside, or they end up getting in trouble themselves. I give you Fannie Willis as an example, and I give you Abernathy, that the former attorney for Stormy Daniels, who's serving currently 19 years in prison. They call it the Donald Trump curse, and I see why they call it that, for his enemies that come up against him. So bravo, Donald Trump. Folks, remember, this $5 billion was born out of the fact that the idiots that were running Twitter, back in the day it was called Twitter before Elon Musk stepped in and took over the company, they barred our former president over that January 6th nonsense, saying that he was an insurrectionist or whatever type of malfeasance they accused him of. It was too much for Twitter to handle. So Donald Trump simply said, I'm not going to come back to Twitter, when he was invited back by Elon Musk, and he started Truth Social. What a good fortune for former President Donald Trump. $5 billion. Just to give you some perspective, there are 86,400 seconds in a year. And by my calculation, that means $57,870.37 per second is what former President Donald Trump made today. Not too bad, if you know what I'm saying. I could use a couple initial public offerings like that, but hey, it is what it is. And the fact that it was something that he stumbled into effectively because of this nonsense with Twitter and these public, I should say they're private companies, but they operate, in my opinion, on a public internet type system. And they've been getting away for quite some time with this power to just ban anybody they want to ban. It is what it is, right? But good for him. I'm very excited that this has turned out to be a great thing for former President Donald Trump. Let's take a look at this article in Forbes magazine. Forbes has come out and went ahead and officially announced it and given Donald Trump a particular rating. All right, let's read this together. Donald Trump is more than $5 billion richer today after shares of Trump Media and Technology Group, which operates the Truth Social platform, began trading on the NASDAQ. Forbes now estimates that Trump, who was worth an estimated $2.3 billion before shareholders voted last week to approve the long-delayed plan to take TMTG public, now has a net worth of $7.3 billion as of 7:30 a.m. Eastern time, and of course we're talking about today, March 26, 2023. That makes the former president one of the 400 richest people in the world, according to Forbes' real-time tracker. It's a remarkable reversal of fortune for Trump, whose net worth was dwindled in recent years as many of his assets, and which include office space and retail real estate, have lost value. He's also on the hook for more than $540 million in legal judgments from 2 court battles in New York State. Liabilities Forbes has deducted from our estimate of his net worth while he appeals. So in other words, I'm not even counting all of the outstanding judgments that he currently owes in a legal capacity. If he wins on appeal, then they will reconsider and readjust his fortune at that time. Trump's nearly 79 million shares of Trump Media Technology Group, which trades under the ticker DJT, which of course is Donald Trump's initials, are now by far the largest asset, worth more than twice as much as all of his real estate, resort, and cash holdings combined. Yet it remains to be seen how much of this newfound wealth Trump can actually put to use. While his shares are worth billions on paper, Trump is currently barred from selling any of the stock or pledging it as collateral for loans for 6 months due to a lock-up agreement. There's no telling where the shares will be trading by the time the agreement expires. The stock has seesawed ever since TMTG originally agreed to go public via merger with a blank check special purpose acquisition company, what they call SPAC, in October 2021. The SPAC shares climbed to 94.20 on the news, then rose and fell dramatically based on the ever-changing prospect of its merger with TMTG going through, and often on little more than enthusiasm for Trump himself. Hey, sometimes, folks, all it takes is enthusiasm, you know? Shares jumped more than 40% ahead of SPAC's merger with TMTG on Monday alone. If traders keep the stock at such heights over the next 6 months, Trump might be able to cash out some or all of his shares for billions of dollars, enough to ease the financial burdens of his many legal battles. But companies that go public via SPAC mergers tend to see their share prices fall after they begin to trade. Also, TMTG is no ordinary business. Despite investors valuing it at nearly $10 billion on Tuesday, fewer than 9 million people have signed up for its marquee product, Truth Social, which faces stiff competitions from the likes of Facebook and Elon Musk's X, which of course is formerly Twitter. It lost $40 billion over the past 4 quarters while generating a paltry $4.6 million in revenue, less than half that of the average Cheesecake Factory restaurant. Well, either way you look at it, folks, you know, stocks go up and down. There's a picture of our favorite president right there. Stocks go up and down, prices go up and down. We know how this is all going to play out. So what? He's obviously going to be a very, very wealthy man at some point, and I'm sure the fact he cannot liquidate these shares right now is probably going to be another boost for the president in the future, because there's a real good chance in 6 months the stock might be worth even more money than it is today. And a lot of individuals in Donald Trump's shoes would just simply hold on to the stock instead of selling it or taking a lean out against it. This may work out fantastic for former President Donald Trump. I personally hope it does. Imagine $5 billion born out of the nonsense of taking him off of Twitter back in the day. This man, he's not the kind of guy to just roll over and play dead. He goes out, starts his own company, Truth Social, and boom, now he's reaping the rewards. The amount of money he is now worth makes any type of judgment that Atisha James out of New York, that crooked AG up there, it doesn't matter. It's just like paying another bill for him that's not going to really affect his net worth at all when you get right down to it. So good for you, President Donald Trump. Fantastic. Let me know if you agree with me. Put in the comments below. If you're still with me, hit the thumbs up button. Be sure to like, share, subscribe. That way you're informed when my next video comes out or I go live. Friends, it's always a joy coming and talking with you. Always remember to keep that mind free. Never give up. And until next time, I am J.R. Dukes.